Right now, I'm standing at the Indo-Myanmar Trading Bridge at Zokhathor in Champai district of Mizoram, and ahead of me is Myanmar. We are heading into the Rihkhawdar town in Myanmar, and what you can see above, welcoming you to the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, are the Chin national flags. Now, these are the flags that have been recently put up and accepted by most of the Chin's defense forces or the ethnic armed organizations as the representative flag of the Chin people, the Chin state. Barely a kilometer from the border town of Zokhathor in Mizoram, armed guerrillas of the Chin National Army march steadily in the deserted roads of Khawmawi and Rihkhawdar towns in Falam district of Myanmar's Chin state. The resistance fighters have been exploring the border areas, gauging the mood of the people in these trading towns of Falam. They interact with locals and also their pets, huddle at the newly set up office for the resistance groups, or pass time by the scenic Rihkhawdar Lake about 3 km from Zokhathor. The CNA guerrilla fighters from different districts have set foot here after capturing the Myanmar military camps on the 12th of November. The joint operations were carried out by 5 resistance groups comprising about 150 Chin fighters. The Chin National Army or the CNA, Chin Land Defense Forces of CDF Huangoram and CDF Zanyatram, People's Defense Force of PDA Tedim, and the drone team of CDF Thantlang. I'm right now with a soldier of the Chin National Army, the longest standing ethnic armed organization in Chin state, and a joint operation on 12th of November, they had occupied key junta positions at Rihkhawdar town. Let's speak with him and get to know from him his experience and how they feel about the recent victory. How do you feel, having liberated Rihkhawdar town, and how does victory feel like?
One tire cancer chelesire, 1 year cancer chelesire. Balule sura, typo sura, lura typo gamasiu, general. The typo winner chingma, a kidule, general Jomes to divita. Balu sura general, luta pu, typo in putua mesona, general, Biancaya mesoro, general ma, a general sedam apiro sibita, a kekeba, a kebe lala, general Tantama manhan. General yin sampuro, general say that been sent habitas ro, a cancer type of a piocinaro, a mere 1 tara sitalo, a young one near a less hibarilo, hello be piocimore.
At least 30 Myanmar army soldiers were present at the company headquarters of Rihkhawdar town before it was overrun by the CNA and its allies on 12th of November. Another 40-50 were present at the Tiao camp, also the temporary camp of the military in Ward number 1 of Khawmawi village, captured the same day. We are right now proceeding towards the newly captured Myanmar military camp, and this is the shorter route that we are taking, about 2 km from Khawmawi village. This is also known as the Tiao camp, which was a temporary camp used by the SAC. The narrow route led to the once well-fortified Tiao camp near Khawmawi. Along the way, one could see the impact of aerial bombings creating a crater near the camp. And this is exactly the place where junta fighter jets dropped a bomb on 13th of November, the next day after the Myanmar military camp was seized by the resistance forces. This site is close to the burial ground that you see there. The fighter jets reportedly dropped bombs at this cemetery in Khawmawi, damaging a portion of the burial site. It was a surreal atmosphere at the demolished Myanmar military camps. Everything around resonates with iconic features of guerrilla warfare tactics. Sandbag bunkers, barbed wires and booby traps, perimeter barriers, tin cans on wired fences to sound alert against raiders. The Camp or the company headquarters of the 268 Light Infantry Battalion of Myanmar Army, situated near the Rihkhawdar Lake, is just about 2 miles from Zokhathor, or a 5-minute Kenbo bike ride to the town. At this captured and destroyed camp, the Chin national flag now flutters under the sky. Locals said the military camp was more than 50 years old. Helmets and armor plates, a shirt that was part of a soldier's uniform once, a ransacked storeroom and a kitchen table made for haunting pictures at the overrun camps. A few unexploded drone bombs lay in sight. We navigated through possible landmines along a passage leading out of the camp. A little ahead, one could see a cavity triggered by a mine explosion, in which a villager had reportedly lost his toes. This is the destroyed bunker of the Myanmar military camp overlooking the Tiao River. If you can see, this camp was just about a few kilometers from the nearest Indian town of Zokhathor in Mizoram's Champai district. The war has been waging very close to the borders with India. The Tiao River forms the international boundary between the two countries, India and Myanmar. An eerie calmness prevails in town as both the resistance fighters and civilian population remain alert. They know the fighter jets can come anytime. Even though we see a sense of calm now in the town, there's always the fear of counterattack by the Settat, and junta forces might launch offensives or aerial bombings as we have seen in the past. You have to be alert all the time. So how confident are you?
How there? Yeah, general. Thing be that so. Kuni le pure kajaro. Troka piam. Below betung pian. General ka kongsung piang ka koi puro. Kono si sintare. Pero di kong ka troka pian ting nan pusun le tro ma chini tay mkong ro balus ro. E kong le kong nansung pian nansung ro general konglong pia sitare. Pero e pawan chin ni na re ma le general konglong tro pian la indo. Tro pian chapu asisin sin ro general ka kong sung piang pian tai pu. Lungwa mo ina ong general kong le pin sin ta ba re lo.
The aerial bombings and intensive shelling near the border settlements had forced hundreds, both military and civilians, to flee across the Chao to India. Some have returned home, but many others who have taken refuge in Zokhathor and Champai towns are uncertain when to get back. In Myanmar, Rihkhawdar looks almost like a ghost town, with abandoned houses and government office buildings. Those present here remain fearful of the war between the Myanmar military and the resistance forces, unable to predict the future and not knowing whom to trust. The CNA guerrillas hope to stay here for a long time as people pledge their support to resistance. From Rihkhawdar in Chin State, Karishma Hasnat, ThePrint.